Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, like I said, some say was a harlot, some say she was just connected in certain way to harlotry, but she herself was not. Um, some others say that she was connected with idolatry and not with prostitution. But I believe that all can be true. That she was a harlot, spiritually and physically, meaning she had also idols, so that he would experience the whole shebang. So she had idols, and reason why she was in prostitution, because the spiritual leads to the physical also, one way or another. So she had idolatry, prostitution, and therefore was connected to a place and people of harlotry, prostitution. So he went into Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. So let me see those two names. Gomer means complete, yeah, like to come to an end, to cease, to complete doing something, to finish. Gomer. And then Diblaim, two cakes, as in the two parts in which Israel divided, north and south, like I already said. Two cakes, like also the first and last, like Yahushua when he separated the matzah in two, that represents the two manifestations. That is something that is done in Pesach, in which one half is given to be eaten and one half is hidden till the end of the meal. And that represents how Yahweh would appear, as it is written in Daniel 9, as Mashiach Nagid, yet Mashiach would be cut and eaten by the 12 disciples, represented by the matzah that they ate. I mean, believed by those who follow the teachings of the disciples. And the afikomen, the dessert, would be placed for last, which represents the Nagid. So Mashiach Nagid, Mashiach would be cut, and then the Nagid would appear in the end as the other part of the matzah. So it's also what we are seeing through what the book is saying. So two cakes. So the name Gomer, to finish the two cakes, or to complete through the two manifestations, to complete the plan of Yahweh through the first and the last, to complete the plan of Yahweh with the north and the south of Israel. That is why Yahweh sent Hosea to do this, and it will be a representation of that is why Yahweh decided to send first and last, represented by Hosea, name which was given also to the successor of Moshe, who became Yahushua, confirming the point of what I'm saying. So he went and took Gomer, the daughter of Diblaim, and she conceived and bore him a son. Then Yahweh said to him, call his name Yezreel, for in a little while I will avenge the bloodshed of Yezreel on the house of Yahu, and bring an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel. The house of Yahu, a king, who made a bloodshed in the place Yezreel. So Yahweh is telling Hosea to get a wife. He had a son, and Yahweh is telling him name him Yezreel, so that people know that Yahweh is about to fulfill the vengeance for what was done in Yezreel. Yezreel, or Yezreel, let me see how it appears in Hebrew, is a name that is very similar to Israel. would be Israel. Israel. So like I said, it's very similar to Israel, yet it has a zayin instead of a shin, and an ayin. So that is the difference. Israel means Elohim sows, that which Elohim planted. Serah is seed. Serah is the root of Israel. So could be seen as the seed of Elohim, but because of the yud at the beginning is pretty much a verb that he is planting, that which Elohim plants. So that would be Yezreel, and it says, call his name Yezreel, for in a little while. And here the reason for naming him that is because of the bloodshed in a place named that. Yet the name itself connects obviously with Yahushua because he is the root of David. He is the seed of the father. The word of Yahweh is the seed in the parable of the one who sows, as the name Yisrael. So Yahushua is the one whom Yahweh planted 2,000 years ago, as the name Yisrael means that which Elohim planted. So call his name Yisrael, for in a little while I will avenge the bloodshed of Yisrael, of that which Yahweh planted. Interestingly enough, Yahushua died, and just 40 years later, as in the 40 years around the desert, and many other things that go with 40, the temple was destroyed, and the people who killed Yahushua and rejected Yahushua were scattered. Yahushua being that him whom Yahweh planted. The last is known as the branch. Yahushua is the root, the last is the branch. So call his name that which Yahweh planted. For in a little while I will avenge the bloodshed of Israel on the house of Yahu. On the house of Yahu, like the Yahudim who rejected Yahushua. Yahu, just the first part of the name. Those who are called by the name Yahweh, when Yahweh tells us that we are those who are called by his name, is because we are Yahudim, which starts with Yahu, those who worship Yahweh. So this is the name of a king who did that, but in the sense of the revelation is the reason why I mentioned that. So I will avenge the bloodshed of Yezreel on the house of Yahu, and bring an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel, and bring an end to the kingdom of the house of Israel. Yahushua, when he came, he said that he came for the lost sheep of Israel, meaning the lost tribes of Israel. Just like there, the first son, which is connected with Yahushua because that he is that which Yahweh planted, the word of Yahweh. So the first son is connected with Yahushua, and just a second, I lost the verse. And the fact that it says the house of Yahu, like the fact that the Yahudim killed him, like it is written in John 1:11, that he came for those who are his, yet those who are his rejected him. And then he was sacrificed for the lost tribes of Israel, as the first part has to do with Israel, and then Yahweh will speak about Yehudah. So